Guys, we are very likely getting a brand new card or new tower troop very soon inside of Clash Royale, and I'm going to tell you guys and show you guys exactly why I think that and all the details we know about the new thing coming. The 20 win challenge is also starting very soon in Clash Royale, and I'll be letting you guys know the details for that and anything else going on in the Clash Royale community in this video. So let's first get into likely the new tower troop or new card coming. So Clash Royale tweeted, maintenance inbound in 30 minutes. The coziest of seasons is in the oven and arrives on Monday. And then look at what they said at the end here. Let us cook with a pancake emoji. And as you guys can see, if you look at this image here, we could actually go ahead and click on it, and then maybe let's actually magnify it, zoom in a little bit here. Let's see how this looks like. As you guys can see, if you look at this, it's a chef here holding a pancake. Now, people might be looking at this and thinking like, well, couldn't this just be potentially a super troop or something limited edition? But I think it's going to be a new card or tower troop for a few different reasons, and I'll show you in just a second. But yeah, as you can see, it's cooking pancakes here, wearing a chef hat, so it's kind of hiding the top of his head. He's laughing here, and he's just surrounded by the other units. Some type of feast is going on, and a feast actually does make sense because that's the name of the event here. So let's actually close out of this and look at the comments and see what people are saying. So someone's saying Slash Rael, pancakes please Evo Mini P.E.K.K.A. I beg. And see guys, this is the thing, there was only one Evo this month, the Snowball, and I think it's for this exact reason. Are we getting a new troop or tower troop soon? Okay, wait, what in the world is going on here? Someone made like, okay, I'm not going to be reading that for obvious reasons. Pancakes Mini P.E.K.K.A. Evolution, so people are thinking it's the Mini P.E.K.K.A. Evolution, but there's a lot of people thinking that this indicates it's going to be a new troop or tower troop, and here's why. You see new card. So look at this, and I'll show you guys why this is. And this person's even saying new champion. So the reason why this very likely is going to be more than just a super troop or some limited event is, as you guys can see, if you look at the emotes here for this season, let me actually go ahead and zoom in a little bit more for you guys. If we look at the emotes for this season, you can see there's 3 new emotes. There's the chef's kiss here, which you can see. It's just basically kissing. I mean, emotes aren't super, I mean, there's tons of emotes in the game, so this might not seem super special, but the fact of the matter is the fact that they're making 3 emotes on this chef is really telling that it is a big part of the game, and I could easily see this potentially being a tower troop coming this month. So this is the food delivery one, so it's another emote where he's essentially just flipping pancakes, and then there's one where he's rolling up his sleeves, as you guys can see, where it looks like he's like getting ready to fight, which is a pretty cool emote in my opinion. And the other thing I wanted to show you guys, this is kind of speculation. If you guys remember the Super Mini P.E.K.K.A, where it essentially pancakes is one of the features of the Super Mini P.E.K.K.A, it's almost making me wonder if potentially the pancakes will actually be something that heals units. So like if it's a tower troop, for example, imagine if it heals your troops on your side of the map. That could be a really, really cool feature. Or if it's an actual troop, imagine it's kind of maybe similar to the healer in one way, or maybe it doesn't heal other troops, but he heals himself, or maybe that's the ability if he's a champion, for example. So something really interesting to think about. Now, the other thing that's very exciting that is coming in December is the 20 win challenge. So if you guys are curious when the dates are for that, it's from December 13th to the 18th. And the other thing that's exciting is they made a brand new exclusive emote for the 20 win challenge. This is different than the previous one that they've used a couple times. So now people have a new flex or a new thing to show off if they are able to complete the challenge. Imagine if you have both emotes, how cool that would be. That's super rare, I feel like, having both of them. And I'll show you guys, this is the one from before where it's a similar goblin character, but he's doing these 2 thumbs up. This is the one from previous years, and that's compared to how it is now. So he's got a different hand motion going on. Instead of the thumbs up, he's basically holding his hands up inside of the 20 win trophy. So that's pretty cool. Now, Unfortunately, guys, there's not going to be balance changes in December. Clash Royale just announced earlier today. So the next set of balance changes are coming in January. What this means, guys, is the 20-win challenge is going to be played in the same meta now. And they asked, what do you think needs to be buffed, nerfed, or changed? So obviously, there's a lot of really strong cards in the game right now. Like, still, the Evo P.E.K.K.A is very strong. Someone's saying the Evo Recruits, the Cannon Cart, the Fisherman, Ram Rider, the Gobstein, of course, and the Arrows. So all these cards you guys can expect to see a whole lot of inside of the 20-win challenge. I'm planning on doing a couple videos at least, though, on the 20-win challenge of good decks you guys can use to complete it. And I might even do a full walkthrough where I'm going all the way from 0 to 20 wins. So if you guys are curious in completing the challenge and looking for a good deck for it, be sure to check that out. But yeah, there are not going to be balance changes, unfortunately, in December, which a lot of people are disappointed about. I guess I'll talk about the Giant Snowball evolution briefly, because I know I didn't do a video on it because I was busy with stuff going on for Thanksgiving, and I actually forgot to make a video on it gameplay, so I apologize for that. But my opinion, guys, on the Snowball evolution is I think it actually seems to be pretty good, and I don't think it's going to be too broken or anything. If we look here, there's actually 8 people using the Snowball inside of the top 200, which is not a ton, so I think it is very valid and fair to give the Snowball an evolution. And some people were speculating it could have been the log from the teaser, and that would have been absurdly broken if the log, as good as it is, got an evolution. So I feel like Snowball is pretty deserved. I've seen what it does, where it essentially is able to send every unit in the game backwards. It does not seem that broken, and it actually seems pretty bad and on the weaker end. So I would not be surprised if the Snowball evolution does get a buff, and if it does get a buff before it's released or shortly after it's released, I'll be sure to do a video on it as soon as possible. But it is probably going to be pretty good inside of things like Loon Cycle and Giant Graveyard, if I had to guess, so be sure to test it out in those things. You must choose to buff one of these cards to be meta next season. Which one will you choose? Well, there's no balance changes in December, so let's say one of these cards gets buffed in January. I don't know which one I'd pick. Let's go through it. So the first option is the Expo. The next is the Barbarian Hut, Little Prince, Goblinstein, Mega Knight, E-Giant, Elixir Golem, or the Firecracker. Well, I think it's obvious to me which I would pick. I think mid-ladder players would be going crazy if the Firecracker or the Mega Knight, and I'd even say the E-Giant got a buff for that matter. I mean, maybe an E-Giant evolution would be cool, but I don't know if it necessarily needs to get a big buff, especially the Mega Knight doesn't need one with it having an evolution. Now, Gobstein, that must be a joke. You gotta be kidding me. I know Little Prince is worse now, but it's been broken for so long, I don't necessarily know if it needs one. For me, I would definitely pick the Barbarian Hut. I know the Expo's kind of been suffering recently in the meta, but the Barb Hut has been bad for such the longest time, and I feel like it's such an easy card to give a very small buff to. Like, even if it's just buffing his hit points, just buff the hit points by like 5%, and that would be small. There's no way it would even be that strong after, but at least it would be something. So Donald, that's the guy in charge of the balance changes. If he's watching this video, I would love to see a small buff to the Barbarian Hut. I know some people think it's toxic, but it's been an absolute joke for the longest time. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like. If you guys enjoyed, subscribe. If you guys are not subscribed already, you can use creator code BOSS to support me in any Supercell game. And thanks again until next time, guys.